Good evening, dear parents. So sorry for those technical difficulties and that you had to wait a bit. But you know the saying that good things come to those that wait. Sabr ka phal meetha hota hai. So I'm sure we'll have a very nice session now onwards. And I'm very happy that some of you have been able to join us, even with all the technical difficulties that we experienced. As you can see, even though we've had issues and we have been struggling, all of us here are smiling and looking very peaceful. So that is the impact of heartfulness meditation, that no matter what obstacles come our way, we are able to take it in our stride and be centered and peaceful about it. So today we have our familiar panel of experts that we've been having from day one. We have Mr. Nitish Jain, we have Mrs. Smita, our dear principal ma'am. We have Sheshadri sir and Shirata ma'am also. And today we have with us our dear Preeti teacher. So I'm sure many of you are very familiar with Preeti teacher. Maybe I can read, I can just tell you a little bit about her. And because, I mean, she's a known figure in Blue Ridge, but still. So, Mrs. Preeti D'Souza has two children who are in their teens. She's in the teaching profession for the past 20 years. She has a qualification of MA and BEd, and this is her 10th year at BRPS, very loyal and staunch employee of BRPS. And now she's a coordinator for Standard 10, a very responsible position indeed. So, Preeti ma'am, we are so happy that you have joined us today. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
So now let us revise what we have done for the past 2 days, shall we? So the first day, of course, we began with relaxation and meditation. Relaxation is we started from our toes and gradually moved up to up, from the toes to the head, relaxing each body part and feeling that wonderful energy relaxing each body part, starting from our feet right up to the top of our head. After that, we did heartfulness meditation, in which we gave the supposition that there's divine light deep within our heart and it is attracting our attention from within. If thoughts came, we just ignored them. If our mind got distracted, we reminded ourselves that there's divine light in the heart and came back. All suggestions to be given very, very gently and very easily. So meditation is to be done in the morning, preferably before sunrise. If not, any time in the morning is all right. We try to meditate for at least 30 minutes. If that seems too much, you can begin with, shorter duration for 30 minutes, at least should be our goal. We try and fix one place in our homes where we will meditate consistently. And we also try and fix the time as it gets fixed in our bio clock. So this was about meditation. Now moving on to the next technique that we shared yesterday. It was about heartfulness cleaning. So heartfulness cleaning is to be done in the evening. So in the evening, we sit comfortably and we give a suggestion that all impurities and complexities are leaving us from the back, from the top of our head till our tailbone, in the form of smoke. The next step is we gently accelerate this process using our willpower. Cleaning is an active process where we use our willpower, whereas in meditation we don't. It's a passive process. So we accelerate the process. The third step is we give a suggestion that energy from the divine source is entering my heart from the front, and through my heart it is spreading throughout my body and replacing all the impurities and complexities that have left me from behind. At the end, we give a suggestion with confidence that this cleaning technique has been completed successfully, and we end it. Now, yesterday, after doing this guided cleaning, we did a short meditation. But it's not necessary to meditate after you do cleaning in the evening. these 3 days of subsequent meditation is only because we are introducing to the practice, and as part of the introductory procedure, we do meditation subsequently over 3 days. But when you do your cleaning technique in the evening, you need not do meditation after that. You can do it if you have time, but it's not necessary. And this helps us feel lighter. It helps us get rid of our emotional baggage. And as Smita ma'am beautifully put it yesterday, it gives us that shot of energy, makes you feel so fresh. Now coming to our third and final technique that we'll be sharing with you today, which is connecting with your inner self. And here we are saying self with a capital S, not with a small s. So before that, maybe I'd just like to ask Preeti ma'am that I know you've been so sincere about practicing this method of meditation. And it's been over a year that, you know, you've been deeply involved in practicing it yourself, in supporting other staff members to also continue with their practice, coordinating meditation sessions, and so much more. So I'd like to ask you, what is your experience with heartfulness meditation? How has it helped you? One, as a person, as an individual, and two, like, how have you seen it improve? I mean, have you seen it improve group dynamics? Has there been any change in the way all the teachers interact as a team? Has there been any impact? Would you like to share with us?
Good evening and welcome, dear parents. I thank all the members of the panel and especially Smita, my principal, for inviting me for today's program. And it's a pleasure to be a part of this beautiful program. I had read a lot about meditation and I knew the benefits of meditation. We all know it helps us to reduce stress, builds our confidence, uh, anxiety level is reduced, goal setting, etc. But I always struggled in spending some quality time in meditation. But then when it comes from the principal and it's a compulsion, you have no choice. So ma'am made it compulsory for the entire staff and all of us had to undergo a 3 days training program. It was thoroughly enjoyed by every teacher. We gave 100%, there was wholehearted participation and a lot of learning in a playway method. After that began my process. I started because now I know the techniques of meditation. Now I know how to meditate, how to relax. There's somebody to guide me along. So that helped me a lot. And ma'am definitely seen a change in me. I was very anxious before. I used to get worked up very soon, but my anxiety level has tremendously decreased. I have become more calm and tolerant. And even while meditating, I used to doze off. And I'd always share with brother that it puts me to sleep. But then now I realize that after meditating, I feel energized. I feel regenerated. So I can see that change in myself that I long to sit for myself, just within myself and also the cleansing process. It has really helped me and I can sleep well. I don't get dreams, so I don't know what is the connection, but I really sleep well and I thank God for it. And heartfulness has really helped me a lot. And coming to the second question for the staff members as a team, as brother shared on the first day that the entire staff, we meet at 2:45 after a long working day and we meditate. So there I have seen a change in the teachers. Initially it was, to send reminders, teachers would come late and there was no fixed time. Some would walk in late, disturb the atmosphere. But gradually teachers started coming on time and they started sitting and meditating before anybody could come and take up the session or conduct. So I saw that change in them. And I have seen a positive impact. I've seen more smiling faces. I shared with ma'am that a particular teacher never smiled, but now I can see her smiling. And I feel that is the change due to meditation and heartfulness. And regarding teaching for students, since it's our first year, it was a learning experience even for us. So we have struggled in few areas, but yet we went on. We carried on. And I feel in the coming years, definitely there'll be a positive impact on the teachers as well as the students. So it's a real blessing in disguise for us. Thank you, ma'am.
Wow, wow. Your answer actually exceeded all my expectations. I think heartfelt thanks to Smita ma'am for making this possible. Sometimes, it's like being a parent also and being a leader. Sometimes like you have to show some tough love at times. So you have to say, no, you have to do this. Like sometimes we tell our children, you have to eat your vegetables. So because we know it's good for them. You're not doing it out of a selfish mood. You're doing it because you know it's going to help them feel more calm, relaxed, help them in every single aspect of their life. So thank you so much, Nita ma'am, for making this possible for so many of them. I think over 100 teachers, isn't it? It's
Yes.
fantastic. And yes, your experience that your sleep has improved. This is a common thing that people share. I myself personally, I used to have lots of dreams and was a very light sleeper. But even after I started the practice, I'm sleeping so soundly. So that is something that is a common sharing by many practitioners, that you do
Yeah.
sleep very soundly and peacefully once you start the
Yes.
practice.
Yeah. So if you allow me, Anjali,
Yes, yes,
just a little addition to that, there were quite a few of them who used to come and tell me, how do you maintain your calm? And we get so anxious, you look after so many things, still you're smiling still. Now, before joining Heartfulness, I had my own way of meditating, and I couldn't tell others how to do it. When I came across Heartfulness, I thought, yes, this is it, very well set and all. And so I made it a compulsion, and I said, you undergo. Afterwards, if you don't want, you don't practice.
yeah.
So
So
as you rightly said, that I knew that this is what they needed.
right, right. So after that, it's their choice. It's our
Yes.
duty to take the tools up to them. Then
Right.
after that, it's their choice whether they take it ahead or not.
Right.
And they have taken it ahead very beautifully. And this
Very
is
much.
this is really wonderful to see. And I think it's one of the rare cases where the whole school is being spiritually uplifted like this. Really, really wonderful feat. And thank you so much for enabling this for so many teachers. So we'll move on with today's topic, which is connecting with our inner self. And when I say self, I mean self with the capital S. So, nowadays when we say the word connection or, connectivity, we very automatically think of Wi-Fi, especially now in our lockdown situation. Even this meeting itself, this we are talking about, it would have not been possible without a good connection, without a good connectivity. And we think of the Wi-Fi, and whenever we want to do any such exercise, be it for work, be it a webinar, be it our online learning, be it our own office work, or even connecting with our dear ones, when we have a good Wi-Fi connection, things happen so smoothly and easily, isn't it? So I wanted to ask, maybe I'll ask Srilata ma'am, can you draw some analogy between having this good connection and the work becoming very effortless and easy, and our heartfulness connecting with the inner self?
Yeah. See, you just referred about the Wi-Fi, right? So we use a modem. Yes. The modem, it modulates and demodulates the signals. Similarly, our heart, it modulates and demodulates the thoughts and feelings. So that is what heartfulness, inner connect. That is, we have a you'll just get to know in another, you say, few minutes.
Okay.
What is it? Because we have seen what meditation has, how it has to be done. That is, we just keep the thoughts away by drawing our attention to the inner source. That is the source of light in our heart.
Yes.
And we connect to our inner self.
Yes.
But how do we connect to the inner self? Is through the heart.
Yes. So can you tell me a little bit more about the role of the heart and heartfulness? Because the name itself is suggesting that it plays a very vital role in this meditation practice. So can you
Yeah.
talk about that?
What happens is, when we actually connect to the heart with the thought that the source exists in it, that the source of light exists, we become aware and conscious of our inner and outer self. And that is the very important link to bring us to that inner state. That inner state causes a lot of calmness and control over our whole being.
Okay, that's really wonderful, and you have very aptly brought out the role of the heart in heartfulness and especially connecting with your inner self. So maybe I would like to ask Sheshadri sir that what do you think is prayer? Like sometimes when we say that we're communicating with our inner self or with our higher self, another word can also be prayer. You know, communicating with the higher self. So what do you think is prayer really?
Yeah. Prayer is an inner cry of the heart, which is spontaneous. Let me tell, when do the people pray? It is whenever either there is a fear, they are of losing something, or illness, things like that, losing property, losing money, job, anything like that. So that's a fear which stimulates them to have a connection with a power which is more than themselves. That is, everybody agrees there is a power.
Yeah.
And the another aspect is out of desires, wants, which they want. So both of them, these are the primary two basic elements which motivates a person to go for a prayer to something. Everybody has their own idol or source or whatever it is to which they are attracted, or they are reminded whenever there is a need, requirement, things like that. This is inner connection. Later on, that establishes a connection.
Yeah.
That is what we are also trying to do. We take our mind and the heart together, and heart is a pumping station as well as seat of divinity. Two things. That is why heartfulness, when we say, it is in Hindi Hridayanubhuti, they call it. So from the heart we meditate. That's what is heartfulness and the prayer.
Okay.
Thank you.
So in our heartfulness prayer, are we asking for anything? Maybe I would like to ask this to Mr. Nitish Jain. Do we ask for anything in the heartfulness prayer in particular? You're muted, sir. You're on mute.
Yeah, so particularly when we pray, okay, the prayer is done from the perspective of not to get anything or personal gains. We don't pray here. Okay, what we are doing here is that when we are getting ourselves connected with our higher self, okay, so that's the place where we are getting ourselves in tune with the connection with the higher self. We are trying to create a kind of vacuity, okay, within yourself, so that whenever we do our other activities, okay, so there we get connected very effectively, and whatever is supposed to be received by us, we get those accumulated, we get those collected very properly.
Okay. Thank you. That's very profound, actually. Thank you so much. So I would like to maybe ask Meeta ma'am this question. Can you share what is the right time to pray? Is there any particular time we should be praying, or can we do it all day?
Well, yeah, I think, before retiring to bed would be the ideal time for two reasons. One is, expressing gratitude for having completed a successful day, and two is for getting into that beautiful divine vibrance, which will definitely lead to a sound sleep.
Yes.
Because I feel just before going to bed is the most ideal time.
Yes. That's true. Also, I think once we connect with that source within. It's sort of like, you know, when you put a plug in the socket and you put the switch on, the current starts to flow. And so whenever we connect within with the heart, we start receiving the transmission. So I think we could also maybe consider doing this before we do our meditation in the morning. So we make sure that we are well connected, and so we are very, you know, ready to get absorbed in the meditation. And also at night, as you said, because then we are, you know, we slip into that subconscious state where we are connected already, and then that
Right.
acts on us throughout
So,
our.
so the
And
divinity remains within us for throughout the
yes,
night.
as Preeti teacher said, that's why our sleep is very sound and peaceful, because we are connected throughout the night.
Correct.
Yeah. And I would like to ask Sri Lata ma'am again that what should be our attitude when we pray? You know, like what, how should we pray? What should be our state of mind, and
Yeah,
what should be the feeling?
of course, of love, devotion, humility. Let me give you an example of we cooking in the kitchen.
Hmm.
When we cook with a lot of love, there is a difference in taste in the item we make. So it is very similar to that. When we are in a very prayerful state, we should be full of love, devotion, and of course, the vacuity should be there. That is, we are totally negating ourselves and asking nothing. We should not be asking for anything, but just be in a state where we can receive.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I think that example you gave of cooking is very much resonating with all of us now. With no domestic help, I think all us or everyone is in the kitchens, and when we're cooking for our own dear ones, there's a different love that we do it with, and we are seeing the results, and everyone is so happy now that mom is cooking every day. So yes, thank you for giving that beautiful analogy. Now with that, I think we can move on to our experiential session of prayer. So I request Sheshadri sir to please take us through this experience. Maybe tell everyone a little bit about the prayer and very briefly what it means. And then if you could give us a guided experience of prayer followed by meditation, that would be wonderful.
Sure, Mrs. Anjali, I'll be very happy to do that. So before I start on the prayer, how do we do the prayer, prayerful suggestions? I just want to relate a small story which puts it in perspective of what you get out of a sincere prayer, which is not self-centered. You know, it's not for us. It is said that when you don't ask for us, ask for somebody else, all humanity, you get more than what you ask for. So here there was a king, a famous king, and in his kingdom there was a rule that every 15 days on a full moon day, 4 people can meet him, 4 villages from anywhere can meet him and relate their problems and ask for whatever assistance they need. So this used to happen very regularly, and the king used to give whatever they needed. But at the back of the mind, the king was very unhappy, somewhat unhappy, saying that everybody is asking for themselves and nobody seems to be caring about him or loving him. So one fine day, what happened was there was a little boy of 10 years who came along with 4 villages, and the villagers asked him whatever they wanted. The king granted whatever they wanted, and he was walking away. While the small boy just ran about to him, saying that, King, I love you so much. The king was so surprised. This is the first time he heard from somebody this kind of words. So he was so astonished. He said, oh, thank you very much. What do you want, child? He said, I don't want anything. I want you to come to my village one day and see my village. Of course, it is far away, maybe 80 to 100 kilometers, but please do come. Then he said, what I will do? The king asked. He says, there are children playing and they have never seen a king. Please come and bless us, be with us for one day. The king says immediately, yes, I will come. All the people who are watching, courtiers, they are all astonished at how the king has agreed. So the day comes. Before that, what happens? These king's ministers and other people, they visit the village. They find the boys' house requires some sort of a repair and decoration, whatnot, and the path and other things. So they put everything into order, and the king comes, spends some day, and everybody is so happy. The other children also get some gifts. So this goes to say that the child never asked for anything for himself, but in the process, he got everything for his own house as well for the whole village.
Beautiful.
So this should be the attitude while praying. That's what I would like to say. With this, we will start the.
It's a lovely story. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah.
Very, very beautiful. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now, shall we start with the actual practice? Okay.
Let us.
Yeah. So, parents, on the third day, this is the inner connect, I will be stating the prayer. So, just about 4 lines. Before that, I just wanted to tell you what is it about the prayer. The prayer is the medium of connecting ourselves with the inner source, divine source, where the first line where we address, "Oh Master," is nothing but our inner master inside, all of us. Because we are going to have mastery over ourselves by doing meditation over a period of time. So then the next line says, what it says is goal setting, intention setting. We all have smaller or larger goals in our life all the period of time. But now, this is the higher goal what we are talking about. Thou art the real goal of human life. This is the real goal. We are just stating the facts here, nothing more than that. Then the next line is identification of what are the hindrances which doesn't allow us to come to them. Then it says we are yet but slaves of wishes. And putting bar to our advancement. So what happens is our own wishes are putting bar to our advancement. So it is just statement of facts. Our position, we are just putting before. This is humility, what we are talking about. So then what is the solution? How do we overcome this? Again, we try to take the help of the Almighty or the power within. Thou art the only God and power to raise it up to that state. This is the small 4-line prayer with which, as Mrs. Anjali said, there's a card is getting connected to the power source and we get charged. With that, we start meditation. So now we'll just repeat. You all can close your eyes. After the 4 lines, we will go into meditation. I will say, please start meditation. You just have a supposition of a loving light in the heart and it is attracting you inside. Okay, let's start. O Master, thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes, putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God and power to bring us up to that state. Now gently focus your attention on your heart and with a supposition, there is a divine loving light in the heart and it is drawing you inside. And when we say that's all, you can stop. Please start meditation.
एक हे ठेवलंय काल बॉडी काम करण्यासाठी.
That's all. Now, after 5 seconds, or 5 seconds, just observe yourself. Now, you may gently open your eyes. So, for those four parents who have joined as third day, they have completed the session. They are now empowered to meditate on their own. Now, I request Mrs. Anjali to take over. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that beautiful session. I can see many parents are still joining us. So dear parents, I know some of you joined in the beginning, some of you joined in the middle, and probably, it would be ideal if you could watch the whole session. So for that reason, we are recording this and we will be sharing the recording with all of you. We'll upload it onto YouTube and we'll share the link with all of you. We are truly sorry about the technical difficulties, but sometimes things are not in our hands, and though we are trying our best. So one option is you could watch the whole program on YouTube, or maybe with Smita ma'am's permission, if we could extend another day and maybe have it tomorrow. We will between us maybe discuss what is practical, and we will share with you. So for those of you all who have joined us, even at such short notice, I can assure you, you will surely be rewarded for this. You will have such a beautiful experience. You have shown commitment in spite of all the obstacles, in spite of all the difficulties. You really had the motivation to join us. Check your email and join us at such short notice. I'm so grateful about it. And I really hope that you'll benefit from these techniques, and it will really give you that inner peace. It will calm the crisis within, and we'll be the ideal role models for our children. And when they grow up watching parents who meditate regularly, those children are something else. I know all of us who are meditators can vouch for that, that without saying, like children do as you do, they don't do as you say. So if we are meditating, they watch us meditate and they actually start emulating us over a period of time. So I can assure you, you will have this benefit. We hope that you will keep practicing with us, keep meditating with us. Many of us are trainers here. There are more than 200 trainers in Pune. So please feel free to get in touch with us. Please feel free to contact us for individual meditation sessions. If any of your friends or family would like to experience, we'll be very happy to introduce them to the practice. So do let us know if you all are interested in taking this forward. Or yeah, I think one parent has joined now, and it's rather, yes. So Mr. Aditya has joined us right now. This is the end of the session. Yeah. So another way to experience the 3 days of heartfulness is through masterclasses. You can go to our website, which is www.heartfulness.org, and you can experience the heartfulness masterclasses over there. The 3 techniques that we experienced over 3 days, the same thing is uploaded on our website as well. So you can go through that. We also have an app called Hearts app, and you can download that app from Play Store, or even on Apple devices you can download it, and you can experience all these techniques: guided meditation, guided cleaning, guided connecting with the inner self. All these things are available on the app as well. Even master classes are available through the app. So do download it to stay connected. Also, we have group meditation sessions twice a week now with our global guide for heartfulness. Shri Kamlesh Patel, lovingly known by all of us as Daji. So he conducts these group meditations every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. and every Sunday, 9 a.m. So I hope that you will join us for. I hope you'll join us for the group meditation every week. And so these are some of the things, our own practice, having individual sessions with trainers and group meditations. These three aspects of the practice will keep you soundly on the path, and you will see yourself blossoming from within and experience more and more benefits every day. So I would like to ask our experts on the panel. Such short notice. And
that's really like
sharing your questions on the chat also.
That's what it's very commendable that at such a short notice all of these could manage to join. So I really wanted to thank them for joining. And yes, if you all have any questions, maybe you could put it in the. That's what I was to ask Anjali, if we have time, and if those who have joined, if they have any questions, let's address them.
I think let us. I think time is immaterial now, so we'll take a few questions. And
yeah, exactly. You know, since they've made all this effort of joining in,
yes.
So I think that yes, if you all have anything to say, parents, please feel free. I think chat option is open, so you can just put your question to everyone or anybody in particular, and we'll take it.
While you are asking your questions, let me.
I guess since there are not too many of us, you could even unmute yourself and ask the question, I suppose.
Yeah, even that would do. If we unmute everyone, then I think you can directly unmute and ask it.
You can allow participants to unmute themselves. Are they not able to?
Yeah, I'll do that.
We had. I mean, the host has.
I'll do that setting.
Muted. So now, unmute everyone, and you can unmute yourself, parents. Please feel free to. Yes.
Yes, now you can unmute.
Yes, Sarah Nessa. Okay. I assume nobody has any questions. Okay, fine. Okay, then if you do not have any questions, then I think we can conclude now.
I just want to add a couple of lines that let me also thank everybody, all those who joined late also. And as Mrs. Anjali was saying, we had this glitch which derailed the process in the beginning. But however, we'll be sending feedback forms, and maybe about, as she said, tomorrow let's talk about it. How do we do that? And the feedback form, you send it, and we'll send you the name of the nearest trainers to your place. Yeah. Some kind of arrangement we will make it, so that those who missed third day or second day, they can go to the training centers or contact them and complete 3 days of hand-holding session and start off. Thank you.
And whether you go personally to somebody, that's also important, that whatever it is, it's all free of charge. So no charges anyway.
But nowadays it's all online. Personally also, it's online only we are doing.
Even if it is online, it's very important to state that it's all free, because there are very few organizations. I think I don't know whether there's any other organization which also teaches free meditation other than Heartfulness. At least I am not aware. Otherwise, most of them take some charges. So that is why I wanted to reinstate that it's free.
Right. And it's free because, it's
always been free, not just during this lockdown. Always it's been thus.
Now and always.
Yeah.
And yes, so do approach us. We'll share our numbers. Go to our website, download the app, and please continue on this journey with us to becoming calmer, more heartful parents and you will surely see the result in the years to come. So thank you, my wonderful parents who have joined today in spite of all the obstacles. I'm really so grateful to you. And thank you for that wonderful discussion that we had, all our experts on the panel. It was a lovely evening. In spite of all the glitches, I'm left very elated for some reason. I think this was really lovely in spite of
Yes.
everything. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you,
Very
everyone.
good evening ahead.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
See you all.
Bye-bye.
See all of you.
Okay. Thank you, Vaishnavi. Welcome.